Today we are Holland Greentech's demo and training site where farmers don't just learn agriculture, but they experience it. This week on The Ghanaian Farmer, we want to learn a bit more about this company and their operation in agriculture value chain. I'll be speaking to Sarah Araba Jesse to tell me more about everything that there is to know before you reach out to them for either enquiries or to ask for any of their services. I'm going for a quick breather. When I come back, she'll be joining me. My name is Enyunam, and this is The Ghanaian Farmer. Thanks for staying. If you just tune in, this is The Ghanaian Farmer TV. As said early on, I'm going to be speaking with the marketing manager, and come on, look at the drip. All of this for farming.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, my darling. For the first time, a diaspora viewer is hearing of Holland Greentech.
Okay.
Who are you?
All right. Thank you, Enyo. So for Holland Greentech, we call ourselves the Smart Farming Hub. If you're looking for inputs that would help enhance your farm, when you talk about irrigation, when you talk of greenhouses, when you talk about seed trays, substrate for nursing. I mean, in the past, Ghanaians just placed seeds in the soil. But no, we are practicing precision farming. So we encourage all farmers to get the right substrate to grow. And can we talk about trainings? I think you have been to one of our trainings before severally, but we are a hub where we equip individuals to see farming as a business and not just as planting for subsistence farming.
Great.
But we are trying to encourage people to see the profits in farming and to make some money, and then we all smile at the end. Yeah.
How long have you been operating in Ghana?
We have been here since 2020, so I would say 6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
Which
6
other
years.
countries do you operate apart from Ghana?
Yeah, so we are in 12 African countries, Burkina Faso, Tanzania, Kenya, just to mention a few. And then in Ghana, we are in Western region, Brong-Ahafo, we are in Ashanti region, Greater Accra, and Volta region.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beyond training and establishing farms for investors or people who want to go into farming, what else do you do in the value chain?
Most farmers, let me say, think of the planting. They forget that aside the planting, you need to manage.
Right.
And how do you manage? You need the skills. You need the knowledge. So we are also on board with our smart tools to give them the knowledge to maximize. You know, in the past, a farmer is, a good farmer can be given the best farmer because of acreages. But we are using small farms of small sizes on to increase your yield. So that's what we do, just to encourage people that farming is not just about acreages or land sizes, but maximize your profit on that small scale land that you have.
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned smart products or tools.
Yes.
What are these?
Let me start from water. One problem we have in Ghana is the water. Most of our farmers rely on the rain. And as you can see, okay, right now we are in the rainy season, so that's good. But if we should enter the dry season, then what else? What next do we do? So we have introduced the irrigation, the drip tapes.
Okay.
As you can see, probably later we can take a good
the
look
agronomist to take care
of that. Yes. So we have the drip irrigation. We also encourage the farmers that water may be available, but you need to think of sustainability in the long run. Now, a plant has some maximum requirements of water that it requires. So that is one way that we are looking at. We're educating farmers that don't just use the water, do it in a way that the plant would appreciate the amount that it's given. The other part is we have something called EC meter, pH meter. Now, when you plant, the plant needs the nutrients. Take it like, as ladies, you're cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you put salt. There's quite an amount of salt that we can take. That's how the plant is. Too much salt has its own. So that's how the plant is. You use the EC meter to check the range so that the plant will be able to absorb the nutrients freely and conveniently. Yes. So some of the tools, we also have rain gauges. We have soil moisture meters.
How many farmers have gone through your training so far?
15,000 and counting. So this is even for the last quarter of 2025, but 15,000 and counting so far since we established it.
From your estimation, what have been the impacts, especially for farmers who have gone through your training, who have reached out to you to assess or buy some of these your tools to do their farming? How would you assess the impact?
And I love that our farmers even see this as a business, a standalone business, I've had corporate individuals come to our office who want to start farming. They want to stop the corporate work and then see farming as a business. And this is the impact that I'm talking about. Another thing is, I remember there was one training where we had a testimonial. This guy was an IT person, goes to Volta region, gets 6 acres and starts. The fact that the youth in particular, he's a young individual, 27 years, and this is what he's doing.
Right.
The money from the IT, he starts with it, and he's still in it. And it's even in families as well. We've also had an elderly woman around 56 heading up there who has started this farming as a retirement plan. So she's not giving up. And I see, when we see these testimonials, we see the impact that we are provide. Yes, and then we're also making. Yes.
Okay.
So that's good.
Right. If you're to describe Holland Greentech in one word, what would that be?
In one word, thrive. Thrive in the sense that for Holland Greentech, when you come to us, it is not a shop. Even at certain shows, we sit with you and we discuss what exactly do you want this farming to do for you. Some people feel, oh, it's like a hobby. Someone to go is like, I just want to invest. But we are able to give you a business case for you to understand where your money is going. Another thing I would say thriving, again, is the kind of journey that we take you along. It's not just the plants. We even connect you to markets. So that is how the ecosystem works. All these products that I've mentioned put together, and then you have one, I don't want to use the word a shop, but it's a hub. It's a one-shop hub,
Right.
one-stop hub, yes, to say. Yeah.
Wow, this is a lot of English, man. Who says agriculture is male dominated? Well, the girls, we put on our boots and our clothes and hey, we are on the field with you. In fact, we are bringing the business side of the production because for you, the men, it is all about production. But women, we love money. And so our plan is how do we help you move the produce from the field to the market and earn big. So you've been with them for the past 6 years.
Exactly, yes.
How do you describe the journey?
It's been insightful teaching. Yes, insightful, and it's been a progressive one. Because what I thought I knew about farming, that's like a tip of the whole thing. I love getting to know what nutrients goes into the plant. I now know at every stage what I need to do. Also with managing, and that's one thing that we forget. Apart from the nutrients and the chemicals and everything, what's important is managing.
Right.
The managing steps, the good agronomical practices, and that's what we miss out sometimes. For instance, as little as your fingers getting dirty can affect the plant.
Right.
So these are some of the things that I do appreciate now.
Okay.
Yes.
For the diasporas who are very passionate, they are interested, they've got a capital and want to invest into a space like this, what would be that one secret you want to share with them?
So one thing is that don't invest blindly. You should get to understand the numbers, get to understand the projection, get to understand even the space, and most importantly, find the market. Don't just go into agric because you saw Papa Menu has started farming and you want to know. Find your market, find your strength. When you find the market, then you can go into the farming. You can start. I mean, you may have your figures, I mean, your investment capital, but if you don't get the market, it's important that you do get the market before you. So don't go in blindly. I want to invest and sit up there and wait for returns. Try and find your market and get your records straight.
Indeed, find the market, like I always say. But for those who might want to reach out for further inquiries or participate in your training, how do we find you?
Okay, so our head office is located at East Legon, Park Street. You can contact us on 055 8317, 054 733 0144, 054 733 0244. Yes, you can reach us. And our socials, Holland Greentech Ghana on Facebook, Instagram, Holland Greentech Ghana on TikTok, and HGT Ghana on X, formerly Twitter.
Charlie, if you leave the two of us, unless tomorrow morning. But you know what? Looking at these fields, it looks so green. The crops are looking so healthy. And the beautiful thing is, it's a very small piece of land. But Holland Greentech Smart Farming, this is what it is. You see cucumber, you see a bit of peppers, you see a bit of other things. And I'm going to be talking to the agronomists. They don't work without experts. So the agronomist will be joining me to tell me more about what it takes to achieve the success you are seeing right behind us. Going for a quick breather. If this is your first time on our channel, please drop a comment, subscribe, and let me know where you're watching from. We're right back after this. Thanks for staying. As I said early on, we will be joined by an agronomist to tell us more about what we see here. This success story is not just magic, it's a lot of intentionality. And standing next to me is
Daniel Ajiti Anang.
okay. Mr. Anand, thanks for joining us. How long have you been with Holland Greentech?
This is my third year with Holland Greentech Ghana.
Okay. What's the size of this piece of land we're standing on?
All right, so over here we are standing on 650 square meter plots size of land.
Okay. How many different crops do we find ourselves standing?
So currently we have 4 different crops.
Okay.
That is habanero, cucumber, tomatoes, and then lettuce. And even for the tomatoes, we have 3 varieties over here. That's Valuro, Jara, and Gamma.
What do you call this system of farming?
This is a mixed cropping system of farming that's very intensive.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an intensive system of farming where we manage different crops on the same piece of land using different agronomic techniques over here.
Okay. So what's the plant population on each bed, if I should ask?
All right, so on the average, we have about 40 plants per bed, but then the bed sizes vary. So we have different plant population per bed.
Okay. Right. So what is the, let's say we are using this particular bed, what's the size?
So the average length over here is 14 meters. Yes.
Okay. Now take me through the production process. First of all, the land preparation itself. Since this is small, did you use manual way of preparing the land?
Yes.
Okay.
So when it comes to the land preparation, we begin with clearing of the weeds and everything over here. Then we form the beds.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we form the beds, we actually use manual labor.
Right.
Yes. So we use primitive tools like the hoe, cutlass, and stuff in forming the beds. However, in order to allow for precision, we also use the lines in order to be able to straighten or to get the lines straight.
Okay.
Yes. Then we form the lines. After forming the beds, we apply compost to the soil. We incorporate the compost into the soil. Then after that too, we also install the drip irrigation system. For the drip irrigation system, after installing that, we test them to be able to determine the flow rates of the system that we have over here to ensure that each of the drippers are flowing properly before covering them with the plastic mulch. After covering the plastic mulch, we then cut out the holes, which are the exact planting spaces where the seedlings will be transplanted. Whilst all these are going on, we've already nursed the seeds inside the nursery. Yeah, so by the time the nursery is ready for transplanting, the land preparation will also be done, and then it coincides with it. So just as after the land preparation is done, we treat the soil with some pesticides in order to get rid of the harmful microorganisms that will be in the soil. Then we do the transplanting. After the transplanting, then the crop nutrition, fertigation, then the crop protection also comes in.
I'm interested in the compost. What is it made of? Is it chicken manure, cow dung, or what?
So we prefer to use the ready-made compost. So we usually go in for ACAP compost because that one has already been well treated. Yes, and processed.
Okay.
However, we don't shy away from using the organic manure, that's the cow dung, and then the poultry manure.
Okay.
However, we are very careful about the sources, because sometimes the source of the the manure can also serve as a means of introducing harmful microorganisms into the field. So I usually go in for the compost, which is already well processed and decomposed.
Okay, before we come to the integrated management practices, let's talk about why you have a white plastic mulch instead of the black.
All right, so mostly for those who do pineapple, the pineapple growers usually use the black plastic mulch. However, the plastic mulch serves different purposes.
Okay.
There are different colors with different properties. For instance, when you look at tomatoes, for instance, tomatoes have yellow flower color. Cucumber also have yellow flower color. So when you have these colors over there, they are mostly attracted by, they mostly attract insect pests such as white flies, which are also attracted to that same color. So when you have a yellow plastic mulch, it helps to divert the attention from the flower to the plastic mulch. And then also the white also serves a similar purpose. However, for this one here, because it's white, it helps to reflect light, which in a way helps to drive away some of the insects. It also helps in the control of heat and the temperature around the base of the plants. Yeah.
Okay, now let's move back to the field itself. So we have lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers.
Yeah.
Doesn't the pest that attack these cucumber can attack this one? I mean, isn't it dangerous?
All right, so each crop has its own pests that attacks them.
Right.
Okay, so for the crops, sorry, the pests that attack habanero, they may not be the same as that which attacks the cucumber.
Okay.
However, for the introduction of IPM and then also the use of biological pest control, when we introduce these biological agents that feed on the pest, it helps us to better manage the pest over here, to also help to reduce the use of synthetic pesticides.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You talked about crop nutrition, fertigation. What is the meaning of this big English?
Thank you. So basically, fertigation has to do with passing the nutrients through the irrigation system. That's what we mean by fertigation. Irrigation is you applying nutrient to the crop directly, and then passing the nutrient through the irrigation system is fertigation.
Okay.
So in doing this, we mostly use soluble fertilizers. We combine these soluble fertilizers according to the plant's nutrient requirements with the various quantities, and then we either use the Venturi system to inject the nutrient into the irrigation system, thereby supplying different nutrient amounts to the different crops over here based on their nutrient requirements at the different growth stages.
Okay. Yeah. So how are you able to tell the amount of water the crop needs at a particular time? At what time of the day do you turn on the taps for these plants to get their
water?
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. So for each crop, it has its own water requirements and the nutrient requirements per the different growth stages.
Okay.
At transplanting, they don't usually need more than 1 liter per day. So at transplanting, assuming all of them are transplanted, then we set the system to discharge 1 liter of water to the plant per day. However, we divide them into different times of the day. So if we are doing 3 pulses in a day, we may do the first time being 400, then the second being 300, and the third being 300.
Okay.
However, we also monitor the weather condition. When it rains, we don't apply water.
Okay.
But then if it doesn't rain, then we follow the normal regime.
Okay.
Aside that too, because there are different crops over here, we time them in such a way that for each crop, it receives the right amount of nutrients that has been shadowed into the irrigation system per time.
Okay.
And then also for the irrigation system, we have control valves that we use in controlling the different sections of the field. So that helps us to be able to give the specific nutrients that each crop requires for each area in this place.
What variety of cucumber are we seeing behind us?
This Midas.
Midas.
Yes.
How long does it take to mature?
So usually after transplanting, between 6 weeks to 8 weeks, it's ready for harvesting.
Is it direct planting or you do nursery and transplant?
So we encourage transplanting. So we nurse it in the nursery before transplanting over here. This is because mostly a lot of farmers don't do soil tests in order to be able to tell the condition of the soil, whether there are harmful microorganisms in it or not. So even though when you nurse it, when you plant it directly, it's going to do well. Because of the risk involved in doing that, we don't encourage that. We usually encourage that you nurse the seeds and then transplant the seedlings onto the field. That way, you are sure of a healthy seedling that you're transplanting to the field. And when you have healthy seedlings too, it also takes, it helps you to do away with about 50 to 60% of the work that you have to do over here.
Okay.
The rest has to do with the nutrient management and then the pest control.
Okay, so the nursery takes how many weeks to do?
Usually cucumber takes 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then you transplant, and it takes how many weeks to start fruiting?
So between 6 weeks. So from 6 weeks going.
How many weeks are we saying now? How many weeks old is this?
So this is over 8 weeks here.
8 weeks.
Yes, and we've already started harvesting.
Harvesting.
Yes.
How many
That's
times?
8 weeks after transplanting.
Right.
Yes.
So how many times will you harvest before you get rid of the plant to replace them?
We usually stick to 2 months of
8
harvesting.
weeks.
Yes.
Then you get rid of it
Yes,
and bring new ones.
and bring new ones.
If you remove this cucumber, what plants are you advised to bring? Is it the same cucumber?
No.
What else?
We'll bring a different crop over here.
Which is
So
possible?
we'll bring habanero over here.
Habanero.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
And-
even lettuce. Yeah.
How about this one? How many weeks does it take after nursery to mature and start fruiting?
So roughly after transplanting, it takes between 8 weeks to 12 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the lettuce?
Oh, lettuce is ready for harvesting at exactly 6 weeks after transplanting.
Okay. I see some, ropes, what are they also doing here?
Okay, so this is the trellis system over here.
Okay.
So the trellis system is basically a support system that we give to the plants. We
Right.
have the Dutch trellis system, which we have over here, and this is the Spanish trellis system.
Okay.
The Dutch trellis system helps us to help the creeping plants to be able to stand upright. Yes. But then for the Spanish system, we provide support on the side of the plants. So mostly for determinate crops, we provide them with the Spanish trellis system, that's on the side and side. And then for the indeterminate crops, we give them the Dutch trellis system in order to help them to keep.
What are some of the most important agronomy practices that farmers keep which affect their yield and, of course, income?
All right, so for the agronomic practices, basically nutrient management,
Right.
and then disease and pest management, as well as the management of the, other crops on the field. Yeah. When it comes to nutrient management, a lot of the farmers tend to go by what is always known. Apply NPK, 15, 15, 15, 16,
Exactly.
16, 16, and those types. However, for each crop, like I mentioned, it has its own nutrient requirements at each growth stage.
Okay.
So first of all, you need to know how much nutrient the plant requires at the growth stage, what is present in the soil. Then you introducing the fertilizer is to just augment or to provide for the deficit that exists in that particular nutrient application regime.
Okay.
Yes, and aside that, when it comes to water management too, the irrigation system, if you are using the drip irrigation system, it helps you to effectively supply the right amount of nutrient to each plant throughout the growth stage.
Okay.
Yes. Then when it comes to pest management too, what we encourage is scouting. So you first scout for the pests that are around the farm, that happens on the farm. When you identify the pests that's on the farm, then that helps you to know which type of active ingredient to use to control them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Among cucumber, pepper, lettuce, tomatoes, which one brings the highest return? As a farmer, I want the one that will give me more profit.
All right, so for short term, you go for cucumber.
Okay.
Long term, you go for habanero and then tomatoes.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've heard it. Short term, this one. If you want long term, this one. This one will give you
I
this
forgot to even mention.
Right.
I forgot to mention. Sorry,
Okay.
lettuce, because lettuce doesn't really take long.
Okay.
Yeah, that also forms part of the short
All
term.
right, I see. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Again, if we want to participate in your training, is it monthly, quarterly, or how do we get the announcement?
So we run monthly trainings, and then also when you follow us on our social media platforms,
Right.
you get more information on that.
Okay. What would be your final advice to farmers, those who are very green, they are new to this whole practice, but they want to invest? What would be your final advice?
All right, so first of all, seek the right knowledge. That's the first point. Then number two, get the right partnership. When you partner with Holland Greentech, we help you get the right seeds, that's the hybrid seeds, and then also the agronomic support that helps you to know what to do stage by stage throughout the entire production cycle. And then also, you have to get the right people on the farm. Sometimes management plays a very, very, very important role. You may invest the money in it, but if you don't get the right people to manage the farm for you, that also comes with its own challenges. So invest in the knowledge, get the right people to partner with, and then also get the right people to manage the farm for you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ajete. Yes, sir. So look, knowledge, I always tell you, success in farming is not about your money. Neither is it about the acres of land you have. A lot more has to do with the experience, the skill, the expertise that you have. is part of what makes you a successful farmer. My name is Enyanam. This has been the Ghanaian Farmer. Look, next week I'll come your way with another brilliant farmer, brilliant agronomist to keep enlightening you in the area of agriculture, agribusiness. But until then, drop a comment, subscribe, and share this video. When you see me, call me Ghana's finest farmer. Bye-bye.